It never fails soon as you cut the camera on, you get something in your throat. How we doing, Greenhouse Lounge? Good to see y'all in here. Guava. How we doing? Here we go. Guava. Waiting to see who's in here. But in the meantime, y'all know I don't like to wait around. I'm gonna put a question out there for you. How you doing, literally, Lala? Hey, Trina's Journey. How you doing? It's another late night. I got a question for everybody. How you doing, my friend? I can't pronounce your name, but hello, how you doing? Hey, Juan Perez. Hey, Ben Robinson. Hey, Hickabilly. Butterfly Effect 86. Robert Johnson. Erica Kearney, I believe it was. Elizabeth Anderson. Princess Pamela's World. Lisa Williams. Abiyah Israel. Bro Randall, how you doing? Good to see you. Late night. Grammys Journal. Industry One. Delgado 747. Jared Talks. Pam Gator, I believe it was. How you doing, Chew? Derek McKay. Forgotten Hobbies. Charles Sansbury. Ugly Seven Leaf Tree. Prophetic, how you doing? Mary P. Golden Sarah, how you doing? The Power, how you doing? Carnita, Mary Grow With Me, how you doing? Golden Whisper 66, am I okay? I'm fine. Just another late night, how you doing? Kishia, how you doing? I think that's your name. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry. Golden Whisper 66, Brownie Iris, how you doing? Lana Rich. Lee Harv, what's going on, my friend? Toyota Kawasaki, like your name, how you doing? Warning Syndrome, what's going on? Zipporah, how you doing? Sheila, let me see. Dave Busby, what's going on? Yevra, how you doing? Kathleen, Lamarcus, how you doing, my friend? How you doing? Willisha, how you doing? Good to see everybody in here. I'm gonna get on with it, okay? Hi, his and hers herbs, his and herbs high desert homestead. What's going on? J3GS Farm. What's going on, my brother? Sheila, how you doing? Say I was about to go to sleep. You better go to sleep. Don't be messing around with me. Man, you up late now? No, I said before I go to bed. I just told my wife we was supposed to. I'm about to go to bed, but I told my wife before I go to bed, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna ask you guys a question. But before I ask this question, I wanted to address my last video. The last video about home ownership, land ownership, and clearly it's a very touchy subject because a lot of people wasn't feeling that, and there's nothing I can do about that. But for the people that needed to hear it, it needed to been said. So that's how I feel, and I don't regret anything about the video whatsoever. It's the truth, and I'm living it. I've lived it, and I understand. And I also understand some people get bent out of shape because they lying to themselves, and that's part of what I got to tell myself. If I know everybody that's been doing this and came from nothing and moved forward, and it worked for them, it works. If you don't believe it works, I can't force you to believe anything. I cannot force you to believe anything. I could just, if you don't try to help people, they get on you that you're not helping your people. That's what's funny about how this world works. If you don't help out and reach a hand out to your people, you're ridiculed, right? They tear you a new one. But if you reach out, to help the people, but they don't want to hear the truth of how to be helped. You're ridiculed. So it's like it's a win, it's a lose-lose situation. So then you wonder why certain entities and outlets shut down from helping people because they're scared. They rather get burned by not helping you at all. It's less painful than trying to reach out and help you and get burned. It's less painful when you just back off like, look, well, you on your own, you know? You know, growing up, I was just talking to my son today. Right, damn if you do, damn if you don't. I was just talking to my baby boy today about how my dad used to do. My dad he was rough, and it was like this. Look, either you follow the directions I'm giving you, because I'm your father. I'm here to tell you the truth. I'm not here to hurt you. You're not going to like what I have to say, but it's the truth and it's going to get you far, right? But if you go out and step outside that and go and try to do stuff your own kind of way and you fail at it, don't come back talking to me about nothing. I just gave you the whole blueprint. I gave you the cheat sheet. I gave you the cheat code. I let you look on my paper. So if you don't do that, then and you fail, don't come back with your tail between your legs. I don't want to hear about it. So that's how this whole society kind of works. If somebody is giving you the blueprints to success and you don't listen and you want to go about things because the way you think things work, what can you do? Those people stop handing out advice and help because it never fails. You get burned from it. So that was what I wanted to say about the video from yesterday. I don't want to talk about that no more because good luck, you know. Now, I have a question for everybody, kind of pertaining to the video from yesterday. What if you were some kind of way miraculously blessed, and right now, let me rewind. Let me start with this. How many people have a garden started? How many people have a garden started? How many people have a life established where you live now? It doesn't matter whether it's an apartment. It doesn't matter whether it's a townhouse. I don't care where you are right now, because then I don't want to hear people getting on me about the apartment stuff again. How many people have a whole full life established? Your kids are in school. You have a job. You've been in your house for, say, 5 years or something, 2 years, whatever, established. You have a house full of furniture. You have everything going for you. Everything is click, clack, clockwork, everything the way life is supposed to go. You know when to get up. You only have, say you only have a 15-minute drive to work. You don't have to drive far. Your kids' school is around the corner. They can just walk to school, or you could drive them to school, etc., etc. What if something fell in your lap and made your situation greater? What if you're established, you got tons of stuff in your house, furniture, yada, 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 and somebody said, tomorrow, we're going to give you 10 acres of land. Some kind of way, you were able to afford 10 acres of land overnight. You have to be, but the thing is, this is what you got to do. You have to sell your house, get rid of all the things that you've accumulated. You have to dig up all of the trees that you've been nurturing for the last 5 years or whatever it's been. You have to dig up all those garden plants. You have to put the house that you have purchased or the apartment that you reside in, you have to put it back to its original way so you can either move out to get your deposits back if you're in a apartment complex, or if you own, you have to put this house in a movable situation, sellable. You have to sell this house, so you have to make it appealing, to universally appealing. My question to you is, let me back up. Let me back up. You in an apartment or you're in a home, you're in a house. What if where you're going with 10 acres, maybe even 15 acres, what if there's no house on that land? There's no house on that land. But if you sold your house or left your apartment in that high rent, you could purchase a big shed or look on Facebook Market and buy one of those single wide homes or a camper, put on that land, and you'll be living for free, just paying your land taxes. But you had to live in that trailer, you had to live in that camper, or you had to live in that single wide or that tent for at least 2 years, free of charge, meaning every cent that you make, every dime you make from your job, your hustle, or whatever it is you do, YouTube, whatever, all of it goes in your pocket to save, to build you a home. So you may have to, listen, you got 10 acres. But you got to live outside in the wilderness for real, for real. All this stuff we've been practicing our preps. Another reason we practice our preps, because a blessing might fall in your lap and put you in a situation and get you out of your nice, warm home where all you do is turn a knob and your water come out, hit a switch and your lights come on, turn a knob and your heat comes on, or turn a knob and the AC come on. All of that's gone. You take a dump, you hit a little switch and your poop disappears. All of that's gone. You got to remember, and you got to remember all the luxuries. We take for granted all the luxuries that we have every day. We're so spoiled. Part of the deal is that's going bye-bye. You're going to be crapping in a bucket, peeing in a bucket. You better invest in some solar panels and some of these solar power generators. You're going to be very uncomfortable for at least 2 years. You're going to have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Would you do it? Remember, once you get out of your apartment, the money that you're saving from paying the apartment bills, or once you sell your home, that's money that you could, of course, you ain't gonna be able to do it right out the gate. You gotta stay in this shed or tent or camper or whatever for at least 2 years. Would you move on that land? Everybody, would you move on the land, yes or no? Would you move on that land? That's a question for y'all. I'm just asking. Ooh, that's a lot of yeses. That is a lot of yeses. Let me see. Watch my. Say, I want a fence around my land. Uh, Dirt off. That's all work that you have to put in for yourself. Whatever you want to do on your land is totally up to you. Uh, I can't, I don't know your name, my friend, but says doing it now. I don't want to tear your name up. When you have lost everything and had to start from scratch, no different. No, oh, no different to me. Let me see. Hickabilly, although I'm in 60 acres, I'm 10. Okay. Uh, let me see. Who is this? Bo says, I'll do it in a heartbeat. I'm living in the, ooh, this is going fast. I'm living in the desert, Lake Havasaw, 1180 watt solar panels, AC 500. Okay, you got yours. Elizabeth, it'll be a struggle convincing my husband and kids, but yeah. Right. Remember, you got kids with you. You got family members. This ain't a decision you making by yourself. Unless you're by yourself, it'll be easier. But you're making this decision for your family. What if you already had 1 acre? That's a question for yourself. I don't know. Let me see. Yes, yes, yes. I be building and digging roads to start my own homestead. Get in where you fit in. There you go. I can do it, but my wife can't. But if I was single, J3GS, you better not let her see that. Don't be like, what a man should never do is say, man, if I was single, I had that Corvette. Don't let her see my chat. Tell her Led ain't got nothing to do with what you just said. I don't want nobody showing up to my back door with a gun. So everybody, let me see, give me a chance to save more money, right? I would do it. We camped out all the time growing up. Camping is different than living out there. I don't care if you camp for 2 weeks. That 30-day mark, things start smelling real strange. But at least you seasoned. You know the drill. I was raised in like that in Portland, Arkansas. Okay, build my home out of fallen trees if I have to. I like that. Let me see, was that 3 month wait for the guy to come drill the well? Hey, Triple Threat, what's up, Sunday Backyard Farmer? Man, I loved your video. I'm so glad I caught it today because I got that wood stove from not Cabela's, Bass Pro Shop. No, it was Cabela's. It was Cabela's I got that from. Hey, whole new perspective. What's up, my sister? I'm up late tonight. I said I'm gonna do a late night because this question is driving me nuts. Luz, let me see. Okay. McMillan says I got a tiny home. I got me a tiny home in a well, solar, and I'm on my way on my mom's land. There you go. Say, Robert says I have to consult my spouse first. I totally get it. Eco Neighbor is a great role model, right? Eco Neighbor and Gigi's Natural. Yes, Grammy Guns, you are correct. B Priest says, been doing it for years, bruh. Got you. Now, I'm way behind. I'm going to say this, okay? I'm going to say this. How many people know about Eco Neighbor's channel and Gigi's Natural channel, him and his wife? How many people know about their channel? Raise your hand. Eco Neighbor and Gigi's Natural Homestead. How many people know our sister and our brother over there? They're actually doing exactly what I just said. Exactly. Everything they do is a calculated step, whether it's washing clothes. I posted a bunch of their videos a few days ago, whether it's washing clothes, using the bathroom, lights, energy, fuel. Everything has to be thought out at every step they make. Okay. If you don't know them, please go over there and check them out. It'll put your mind at ease and put you in a different perspective of how things would be. Now, this is for the people that think I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. When they watch my videos, they only know what I show them from these videos. Exactly what Eco Neighbor and Gigi's Homestead is doing right now. That's how me and Lady Led moved to South Carolina. We had nothing. We sold everything. Everything. And I had an old RV. We bought an old RV. And we drove that old sucker to South Carolina. And we lived in it. And I had 3 children. My baby boy at the time, I think he was like 3 or 4. And 2 young, angry adults. I'm taking these young, angry teenagers away from their friends, away from their school, and away from everything they know and love. That 13-year-old, 15-year-old, you starting to smell yourself kind of attitude. I'm taking them 1,000 miles across country to a world they've never been in an RV, and we all jammed in here, and we got to live in here. So I know exactly how that goes. So what I was trying to tell people yesterday, I've lived it, and I found out the recipe. It's like when you taste some good chicken, you want to know exactly how that restaurant fix it, and you finally figure it out. That's kind of how I feel. I think I figured this out a little bit. So for the people, this is who I really want to hear from, because it sounds like 99% of you would leave in a heartbeat. For the people that just coming in the room, if somebody offered you 10 acres, would you pick up, sell everything you have? Would you leave everything behind, sell everything, get rid of everything? Sunday Backyard Farmer said, Brother Led, I have to find that video of you and Lady Led talking about moving and living in the RV and also using the honey oil when the motor, right? Oh, you remember that? You know what? I never thought that I mentioned it on here. But yes. Not only was that story, we was telling our own personal business, but it was a spiritual story too, because God brought us here, period. There was no other explanation of how we made it here alive. Think about that. Dave Bubby said, I saw that video too. Okay, you understand. So the people that think that I've been living like this for my whole life, no, not at all. Not at all. And just to throw in a little twist, that was only, I've been down here, my son is, that was only 15 years ago. That was only 15 years ago. Think about it. That's nothing. So, that's something, ain't it? I just wanted you to know the truth from my mouth. And what drove me to do that was hearing about other people doing that and just putting your faith in God and stepping out on faith and listening to him. Listen, family, I don't like getting too spiritual and all of that stuff, because y'all, some folks get weird with it. But I'm going to say this. When you hear that whisper telling you to do the right thing, sometimes it might sound a little crazy. But I promise you, when you hear that, you at least got to question it. You at least got to kind of acknowledge it. First, you got to find out, who is it coming from? And once you figure out this message this is not a wicked message. Sometimes you can think that it's a wicked message because it's telling you to do something crazy. And when I say crazy, I mean something that's saying you have never been to San Antonio, Texas a day in your life. You ain't never seen nothing about it. You don't know nothing about San Antonio, Texas. But San Antonio, Texas keep ringing in your head. You keep saying it for some reason. And every time you make a joke or something, you throw San Antonio, Texas. Like, why does that keep coming out of my mouth? And then that feeling of you start getting antsy staying in one place, and somebody asks you, where would you like to go on vacation? You say, San Antonio, Texas. Why? I don't know. You better act on that. For instance, I am not supposed to, let me take that back. Let me retract that. My goal was not to move to Columbia, South Carolina. My goal was to move to Charlotte, North Carolina. My RV sprung a leak in the radiator. I stopped here because I have family here. My mom and my sister lived here. So I stopped here and I was going to stay here for a little while, kind of post a base camp and run back and forth to North Carolina looking for a job, looking for a place to live for my family. You know what happened? We passed this hospital. It's a special hospital. I'm not going to say the name of it. But at the time I was a nurse, I said, you know what? I'm going to go to that hospital we passed. I'm going to just mess around and see if they give me a job. Jokingly. Joking. And I said, tomorrow I'm heading to Charlotte, and Charlotte is only like an hour and a half away from here. Tomorrow I'm going to head to Charlotte, and then I'm going to put in some applications at the other hospitals in Charlotte. I go to this hospital here in Columbia, South Carolina. I put in an application. I can't make this up, family. The lady came out. Now, I asked, can I fill out an application? She asked my credentials, gave them to her. She said, hold on one second. I said, okay. She said, just start on the computer in there. So I went in this little room. I start on a computer, filling out the application. And no matter what, I always take all my documentation, my certifications and paperwork with me no matter where I go, especially when I'm looking for a job or I'm in between jobs. Guess what? She ran up and brought the administrator down. She said, I found one for you. It almost made me want to cry now. I don't even do it no more. And I'm sitting there like they're not talking about me. My back is turned to them. I hear her say, I found one for you. He's in there. And I look, ain't nobody else on these other computers. It's just me. So I would love to say I am going to say her name because she's one of my best friends to this day. Miss Nadine. Miss Nadine came and introduced herself to me and shook my hand. He said, are you looking for a position here? I said, yes, ma'am. What position you looking for? Well, I haven't had time to look at Come with me. I stopped filling out my application. I haven't showed anybody my certification. She starts giving me a tour of the ICU. Okay. I'm on tour in the ICU. She's telling me about everything in there and how it's run. For what? So by the end of that day, she said, okay, when can you start? I hadn't even filled out the application yet. I hadn't even finished filling out the application, giving my certification. And I was like, Now, no, I'm not going to have you start now. So this is what I want you to do. Go downstairs, finish filling out the paperwork. And do you have any of your certifications? I said, I have everything here. So I gave that on to my administrator. And I was out fooling around. And I came home with a full-time, full-pay job. When that whisper, that whisper is in your ear, step out on faith and listen. Even if you don't act on it, you at least need to listen and acknowledge it. Because I'm telling you, the problem that I spoke the other day was this world is so loud. You got music always playing. You got cars always driving by. You got noise of people screaming, yelling, traffic. Everything is always noise. It's never quiet. And listen, that's the biggest distraction. This world is making too much noise for you to hear the Father whisper to you. So you think he's not talking to you. He's talking, you just can't hear him. Or he's talking and you ain't listening. You too busy giving your opinion. Sometime if we just shut up, go somewhere quiet. See, some people think meditation is that corny stuff you sit in a closet in the dark doing this. No. Meditation is going somewhere. You don't have to hone in. I'm not going to talk about other people. I'm going to talk about me. I don't have to do all of them rituals to hone in to meditate. If you go somewhere dark enough, dark enough, cut out the lights, and quiet enough, your body and your brain won't give you no choice but to meditate. When you can hear your own heartbeat, that kind of quiet, outside your chest. When you can hear your nostrils breathing and you ain't even breathing heavily, that kind of quiet. You fall into meditation because you start thinking about, man, I can hear my own heartbeat. Did you see that? I can hear myself breathing. You talking to yourself, next thing you know, you talking to him. And you know what else happens when you in that much darkness and when you are in that much quiet and peace? You can hear the word of God. You can hear that whisper and you can start understanding what he wants you to do. Now, whether you act on it or not, that's your business. So, people don't think that they can make a better way in this life. They think that the man got his thumb down on you and he won't let you up. We just make too much noise, family. This world is just too noisy. My whole point of that video wasn't to be ranting and raving like a lunatic. My point of that video was to let you know you do got the power to change your environment. It's all up to you. You have the power to change your environment. So, to end that quick little story, I never made it to Charlotte, North Carolina. So, me and my wife end up living in the RV until I got a few paychecks, enough for us to go and purchase an apartment in a really horrible part of town. But I didn't know that. I don't know nothing about South Carolina. We had a little townhouse apartment, upstairs, downstairs, 3 bedrooms for us and the kids. And we purchased our RV for something like $2,500. This was up north, okay? And this was a long time ago. $2,500. It was a very old RV. And we end up selling it for quadruple that amount, which gave us our first down payment to purchase our first home in the home before we bought this home. See how it just worked? It just worked. And I never forget, and these dudes could be watching me right now, I don't know. Somebody drove all the way from some part of Virginia to purchase my RV right here. And I'm not going to disclose how much they paid me because y'all going to think I robbed them. And I didn't. They just really wanted it. And I can tell you this, they wanted to turn it into a party bus. I don't care what you wanted to turn it into. I need the money. You need this RV. They said they're going to gut it and put some stripper poles in it, whatever. That's what they said. That was their business. But they don't know how much they elevated my life. It was a boost. Some people, I put it up for sale and sold it in one day. The guys was like, took off work to drive all the way here from Virginia to buy it. Almost sight unseen. Now, if you don't think that's the power of God, I don't know. I can't persuade you because that just don't happen. Okay? A RV, people need to look at an RV for a few days. Like, I'm going to come back and check it out. We need to get some inspectors and look up under there, under the chassis. No, these dudes knew exactly what they was looking for, knew exactly what they wanted. They didn't talk long. They looked it over and walked around it. And then the other dudes start counting money, put it in my hand. We signed the title over on the kitchen table inside the RV. They didn't ask questions and they left. I even told them that the radiator was busted. It got a pinhole leak. He said, man, I'll take care of that before we even leave out of South Carolina. I disclosed all the problems with it, which that was the only problem. Who does that? If that's not the Father working, you can believe what you want to believe. I'm telling you my story, my testimony, my truth. So every time I hear that and I get that little whisper, it might sound crazy to you. But I've heard that whisper before. And sometimes it sounds crazy to me too. But you at least got to acknowledge it and check it out. So, why would you just jump up and move to San Antonio for no good reason? Because something is pulling you there. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia for no good reason on the planet Earth. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, the heart of Atlanta, MLK and Peyton Road, the heart. Why? Something pulled us there. Something made me, we need to go there. And it wasn't because of Ludacris. It was something driving me to Atlanta, Georgia. I only had one brother there, and he's not native of Atlanta, Georgia. I ain't rocking with him like that. He's my brother, but you know what I'm saying? He crazy. So I love you, bro, if you listen. So I wasn't going there to live with him. Something that's bringing me to Atlanta. Why? I had some of the best times in my life in Atlanta. And I learned so much about a culture. And I ain't talking about it's about a race of people. I'm talking about Atlanta is a culture. And I'm not talking about this newer culture. I'm talking about while back, around the Ludacris days, okay? Atlanta it's like a whole different country. So, what drove me? That whisper. What brought me here? That whisper. I could have simply denied this lady and told her, well, I'm not staying here. I'm going to move to Charlotte, North Carolina as soon as I can get a job. And I didn't have to take this job. Look what that one day brought me. I never looked back. So, before you end up yin yang twin days. Thank you for that. Thank you. What's my name? Pastor Troy days is when I lived in Atlanta. Okay. Little John, East Side Boys, Bone Crusher. Them, I used to live behind Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher lived on Peyton Road, around the corner from me. If y'all know who Bone Crusher is, he, he used to live literally around the corner. Anyway, Peebo Bryson, my apartment, from my apartment building, I saw the choppers, the feds, getting Peebo Bryson when he was caught for tax evasion. And we just stood there in our parking lot, sipping on a cold one, watching them arrest Peebo Bryson. I saw that. I was there. So if you look up when Peebo Bryson got in trouble for tax evasion, that's going to tell you exactly the date that I lived in the Peyton Apartments on Peyton Road, off of Peyton Road. The Andre 3000, not just the Andre 3000 days. I'm tripping now. Andre and Big Boy, Outkast. That wasn't just the Andre 3000 days. That was Outkast days. That wasn't Big Boy. That wasn't Speaker Box. That was Outkast days. The real Outkast days, you know, when Andre was just, ooh, okay? So, now you, Bubba Sparks, them, you going Texas-wise now. Paul Wall and them days, okay? I was in the A then. We had AT Alien, thank you. Yes, we had, that was the, one of the years I lived there was the year we had the All-Star basketball game in Atlanta, Georgia that year. Back then, Triple Threat said I used to lock folks up over there. A group of guys shook my vehicle to scare me out of that area. Tell you. So CeeLo Green, that's right. The Dungeon Family. NBA All-Star, right. Yes. So, would you, if you had to leave, let's talk about something. If you had to leave, this is another question I have for you all. Would you just leave everything? Like, you've planted trees. How many people got a garden? Gardeners. Because I'm talking directly to you at this very moment, because you've planted a lot of trees, a lot of fruit, a lot of berries, a lot of all of this good stuff that's been sustaining you for a year or two or more. You have planned out your garden. You've been working on it and building your soil for the last how many years? Leaves, you churning leaves, you compost, and give me them gardening hands. You compost, you can put your hands up twice if you want to. Composting, you doing everything to try to grow your own, eat your own. What if you had a tree in the ground? Tell me how long, put up a number. How long have some of the longest fruit tree you have in the ground? How many years has it been in the ground? In the ground, not in a container. How many years have your fruit tree, put up your number, how many years have your oldest fruit tree been in the ground? 2 years. Ooh, 4 years. 30 years. 30 years. 5 years in the new home. 8 years. 1 year Triple Threat. CC says 2 years, 1 year, 3 year, 4 year Honeycrisp apple. 1 year, 15 years, 10 years, Earth Shines, 10 years, Be Pretty, 15 years, 1 year TLA Lab. Oh my God. 1 year Polo, 40 years Mary, 50 plus Ella, 2 years Prophetic, 2 years, 12 years, and for a barbecue. Listen to me. 32 years Sean Romero. Oh God. 13 years. I'm here to tell you, would you leave them behind? Because some of those you can't take. If you got a pecan tree that's 5, 10 years old, you can't take that pecan tree with you. But your peach trees, you can. I'm here to tell you, and I have proof, and I have the video proof that if this blessing, if one of those blessings come to you 3 years, 8 years, if one of those blessings come to you, I have videos right here on this channel, on my channel, to show you. I will dig up an old tree and move it in a heartbeat. You have to dig up that whole root ball or most of it. You can move it, but you will need help because the tree and the soil and the root ball is heavy. Say 3 pecan trees, 2 apple trees, you ain't moving them pecans. The taproot is just entirely too long. And the tree is too heavy for 12 years. Just leave it. Let me see. Yup, I'm paying it forward. Next homeowner, it means one more person prepared. Amen. That. Amen. So I'm digging up all my fruit, butterfly effects. I'm digging up all my fruit trees and dinnerberry bushes. Every house I leave the house that we had before, I left an orchard. My old videos, I left a lot of them, but I brought a lot of them to this land with me. Thank you, Angie Seaway. Say, speaking of fruit trees, I think my mom has been listening to you. She just bought 40 trees. Oh my God. Oh my God. Tell her I said guava. Good job, Mom. 8 years, pecan, 35 years. Yeah, that ain't going nowhere. Okay. So, oh my God, 108 trees somebody got. Meyer lemon tree, I'm 63 years at least over 60. Ooh. So, I'm here to tell you, you can dig some of those trees up. You also want to leave some behind. You got to know some that you have to leave behind. Leave a pecan tree behind. But I will tell you this, and I'll put that video at the end of this. If you have to leave an old pecan tree behind, but it got the best nuts. These nuts, it got the best nuts though. It got the best pecan. I also have a video that you can air layer a whole branch off of your tree and take that identical clone. I'm going to put it at the end of this video as well. Take that identical clone of that tree that's going to give you the exact same nuts, the exact same fruit, and go plant it on your new land. What's going to happen is that limb is mature. It's just an extension of that tree. So what you're going to do is that tree will be producing, even though you only have, 5 feet of it. It will grow faster and produce immediately. I showed y'all proof time and time again. I'm living proof again. Just like the video I did yesterday, I'm living proof. I'm living proof. This works. If you don't believe me, this is one of the things I can actually show you. You ain't got to stare me in the face and believe me. Take that tree. If you can't take a whole tree with you, take an air layer graft and take it with you. Take a piece of that tree with you. Take that DNA to your new land. Plant it somewhere, and you will see. All right? And for barbecue said, I did it too, Led. There you go, my brother. There you go. There you go. And, of course, it's always fun to go out shopping for brand new fruit trees and vegetables. It's nothing more funner than that. That is an addiction. Sunday Backyard Farmer said, Brother Led is the old homestead. Is the old homestead the one that you and Lady Led was walking through with the realtor at the other house video? No. I don't. The other homestead is a lot of citrus tree videos on that one. I don't have many videos on YouTube on that. On my old homestead, I got a lot of pictures. And the other stuff was on our, I had one of those video cameras, one of these. That's what I used to do videos with. So I got a lot of footage I've never uploaded. And I don't even know if that camera even works anymore to this day. I still got all the footage, but if I could figure out a way to upload that, because they used to take them little tapes, you know, them little VCR tapes you slapped in them. If I could figure out a way to upload that, I definitely would. It'll trip you out because people don't believe me. And it's hard. I have 5 acres, you know. So I've been doing this a long time. Now the video that you're talking about on that house, that was a whole nother situation. No, not one of them old Zenith ones that they recorded the Rodney King beating with. That mug was about this big, like them news cameras. So I'm gonna try to dig it out and I'm gonna try to transfer it and make it digital and get it on YouTube. It'll trip you out. It'll trip you out because you will see us on our homestead and our other garden, our other orchard, and you're gonna see my land, you're gonna see my woods. I recorded all of that stuff. You're gonna see my barn, you know, and yeah, I ain't gonna give it away. Say Juan says, I may still work. I think there's a way you could do it. There is definitely a way. I just gotta figure it out. How you doing, Nikki? How you doing tonight? So, family, before you go step out on faith and hear that calling that's driving you to greener pastures, if you will, or I would never take nothing to Walgreens or any of those people that process your stuff. They be in your business. No, I heard about them. They like to watch your videos before you get a chance to watch them. You know, there's some freaks in there. That's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying. But before you move on to greener pastures, you following your dreams is things you should know before you go. And that was one, are you ready for this transition? The reason I think a lot of people gave me so much hell about the video I put out yesterday, there's a lot of people ain't ready for that major transition. Picking up and being responsible, and you know what other people ain't ready to do? They ain't ready to fully give themselves over to God and trust him. They don't. They don't. They think that they are in control of everything. They don't think that a higher power has a hand in any decision that they make. And I say to them, the reason it don't work for you because you don't allow yourself to be given to him. That's why, if you ask me, okay? Things aren't working for you because you're still trying to steer the bus. It's not working for you. You're not listening. You're so busy talking, or all the noise around you is blinding you, and you always in a bright light. Even think about it. Even at night, every 5 seconds, your phone buzzes, bzz, you get some kind of alert from some kind of ad sent, or some kind of ad, or you get your phone buzz, bzz, somebody texting you, or your phone light up for no reason, even when you cut the vibration off. You cut the side, you make your phone silent. It's always lighting up. And you know what happened? Every time you sleep and that phone light up, that phone could be way over here on your nightstand. You do this all night long. You can't even get no sleep. Let's just say you put your phone inside of your dresser drawer. Now you know what's bugging you. Everything in your home now, what they call, have a vampire light. The vampire light is a slow suck. It's like a leech of energy. It's a little red light on your smart TV. It's a little, you got the time on your microwave, a little green number to tell you the time. You got little bitty lights everywhere. Those little, you don't think about them on your everyday basis because you're used to being disturbed and distracted. But if you just sit and look around your house, you can look right now. When you looking at me, stop and look around your house, wherever you are. I can tell you right now, my coffee machine is lit up with the time. My washing machine, little green lights telling me I need to put another load in. My green light on my dryer is telling me that load is done drying. My microwave, my stove. I got little bitty, look behind us, little stupid stuff, little lights like that, right? Little tiny lights. They're slowly draining energy out of your appliances, but they're also there to disturb you. Every little fan that comes on inside of your devices, everything has a little fan. Your laptop will be sitting on the table and just figure, I guess right now is a good time to cool myself off, and a little fan will start blowing. It's very quiet, but it's just enough to wake you out of your sleep. So we're always distracted. We're always in some sort of light. We're always hearing some sort of sound. There is never peace and quiet. If you look up a scientific study that I was looking at a while back, they took these people and put them in a 100% light-free room, closed them in a room that was zero light, zero. Soundproof room. They said all of those people that they were doing experiments on in a pure quiet, pure light-free, sit them in a chair that can get as comfortable as they want to. The quiet and the darkness drove them crazy. None of them can stay in there over, I think it was something like an hour. Don't quote me on that part. Because the pure quiet, they took all these people from big cities and stuff, from all this noise and pollution. Nobody could stay in those dark rooms for over, don't quote me on the time, over something like an hour. They was all scratching at the door to get out. That's how prone we are to just love living in distraction. That peace drives us nuts. They said they started hearing voices. They thought they was hearing demons. No, you're listening to yourself. You actually have time to listen, and that's driving you crazy. Instead of hearing some dude at the back of the bus, the other dude, hey, sit your butt down. Come over here, sit down by your mama. You always run around. All this noise we hear all day, all night. We're so used to that. If you're in a big family, I'm coming from a big family, fairly big family. Once I moved out on my own and I lived in my own house by myself, besides the gunshots outside the window, not having to stand in line, because where I'm from, everybody only had one bathroom and it was upstairs. Not having to wait to go use the bathroom. Nobody's arguing and fighting over who get the big piece of chicken. Nobody's arguing about who turn is to do the dishes. None of that stuff. When I lived by myself, it was so peaceful. You know what I did? As a child, I couldn't wait to move out and be on my own and become a man and start my own journey. But once I got out there, you know what I did? I kept going home to my mom, to my mom and my daddy house. You know? And at the time, I ain't have nobody serious in my life. So it ain't like I got some old lady up on, one of my girlfriend or something up under me all the time. I wasn't trying to do all that. So I just kept going all the way back home, It was too peaceful. So all I did was go back to my mom and dad's house to argue with everybody about who get the big piece of chicken Get out of my seat. I was sitting there first. Now, at the time, I'm fairly young, but I'm grown. That's my seat. I was sitting there first, arguing with my brothers and my sisters and my cousin and my mama and my daddy. Because that peace was just too much. That's what world we live in. You come from a big family, you're so used to hearing all this noise. You can't hear yourself think. And you know that saying, y'all so loud I can't hear myself think. That is real. But when you finally start enjoying that peace and knowing what that peace brings you, you don't never want to have no noise no more. That's me. Finding your peace on this earth now, on this planet now, is something that you have to get used to, because there is no peace anywhere. You always worried about either what somebody else think of you, what somebody else saying about you, what somebody is saying to you, what you should say to somebody else. Am I going to hurt their feelings? Will they hurt my feelings? You're always thinking about, your brain is never just quiet and reflecting on God. It's never reflecting on spirituality. It's always reflecting on how somebody else feel. You can never, ever make any moves, any positive moves, while you always just worried about what these people think about you. You cannot move forward. You always so busy thinking about what do they want? How can I make them happy? How can I please them? We asking the right question, but for the wrong person. You shouldn't be trying to worry about so much how you can make this person happy or this person like you. You need to be worrying about, how can we do right by him? When you do right by him, everything else fall into place. Because what he's going to show you is, you don't want them to like you anyway, because they rotten, dirty, and wicked. What if you talk to him, he's going to tell you, you really need to get closer to them people right there. They're going to lead you down a good path and show you opportunity. And talking to him is going to tell you, you know what you should do? You should go to move to South Carolina for some reason. What? For real, God? Yeah. I think you will like it. I made it just for you. Guava, God. So, before you step out on faith, ask yourself a bunch of serious questions like I told you the other day. Write down everything. Write down everything. Are you really ready? What if? Here's another one. Here's another one for you, because I'm just trying to put something on your mind, because your blessing, it's going to come. The question is, will you be ready for it? Because see, some people ain't ready for it. See, even I can talk myself. Sometimes I don't be ready for that blessing, because it put you in a jam, huh? What if? What if? Everybody here watching me, you have something that you hold near and dear to your heart. Something materialistic. Something materialistic, okay? Something near and dear to your heart. Something that you worked a long time to purchase. Something that you work hard to purchase. Something that you've been keeping around since you was a child. It's something, right? Or you collect certain things, jewelry, things to protect yourself, if you will. Furniture, fine furniture. What if you didn't have the money, and that 10 acres, an opportunity, and to live for free was offered to you, but you need just a little bit more money? Let's just say you need about $5,000 to $10,000, Remember what I said. This land don't have no house on it, but it's 10 acres. Would you be willing to sell all of your jewelry? I'm asking you this for a reason. Would you be willing to sell all of your jewelry? Sell all of your weapons. Sell all of your shoes. Would you be willing to sell all of your fine clothes? Remember, you already live in the house. You already living good. You already got everything you ever wanted right here in this house. But it's something greater out there, but it's got a twist. It's no house on this land. What's more valuable? 10 acres or this little house you got with this little backyard that the backyard is so small when you let your dog out to go poop, you step in it. You said, tell you who has 10 acres, Liz? You, if you look for it. Would you sell off everything to move forward? And I mean everything. Listen to what I'm saying close, and I want you to kind of click in with what I'm telling you. You can't look back. Harriet Claire, can you bring your preps? I said everything. Let's put it like this. The only way you can afford this land is you have to sell off your other stuff to afford it. So no, you have to get rid of it. You have to sell it to get the money to get it. 10 acres, no house on it. You already live in a house right here or an apartment right here. Say no, too hard to start over. I respect that. Cece Marie, thank you. I wish I was on StreamYard so I could highlight that. Cece Marie says, don't be like Lot's wife and turn into a pillar of salt. You caught that message. What if you had to get rid of everything? And everything that's happening to you looks unsure. I'm moving on land with no house on it. I'm leaving a house, a big house, or a decent house that's established. My kids is in school. I have a job to move on land with no dwelling on it. This doesn't make any sense, Lord. You want me to sell all of my things. You want to sell all of my belongings to move forward on some land with no structure, no building on it. You got to ask yourself, are you willing or are you ready for that blessing? Because when that blessing hit, he gonna have you do some stuff that don't make sense to you. When we moved to this house, my family thought I was losing my mind. My brothers, my mama, my daddy thought I was going nuts. I sold everything and I had a lot. And when I'm telling you, I sold it all. Something was driving me so hard. I needed to leave now. I don't have time to negotiate with people. I had a acrylic fishbowl. I had oh my God, what was it? It was either 80 or 100-gallon acrylic fishbowl with saltwater tropical fish and everything in it. If you know anything about saltwater aquariums, you know exactly how much that cost me. The reason I brought that particular item up because it still kind of hurts a little bit to this very day. And guess what? I sold that fishbowl for 50 bucks. Everything inside of it, the fish, I had a couple of sharks, I had some anemones, I had some trigger fish, I had nurse sharks, lights, sea coral that we've been collecting for years. Coral cost a fortune. coral, pumps, stand, everything. And it was all encased in a wooden stand, a wooden 50 bucks. I just wanted it to go. I didn't want anything to hold me back another day. I don't want to stay in this city another day, because every time I close my eyes and get quiet and go to sleep, I hear that voice like, we got to get out of here. I don't even know why. I'm not running from nothing. I left one thing out. Had a great job. I'm not running from anything. But that voice keep telling me, you got to go. We got to get out of here. We got to hurry up and leave. Okay, Lord, hold your horses. I'm going. We got to go now. So everybody that came to my yard sales for that week, I did 0 negotiations. 0 negotiations. I'll never forget, my daughter cried because I bought her back there, and before electric scooters was out, like now, I bought her an electric scooter, the kind you kind of sit on. It was a Razor scooter. It had a seat on it, but you could stand on it too. Cost me a fortune. I let that go for 50 bucks. And I know it costed me like $300 back then. 50 bucks. I had a gas mini bike motorcycle of my son's. He was pissed off. Give me $100. I know I spent $500 on it. Give me 100 bucks. The dude come, I give you $100 for it. You got it right now? Yep. Listen, not only did I uproot my entire family and drive them down here in a 30-year-old RV, I also pissed them off by selling the things that they love, their material items that they love. But I couldn't listen to them because I knew I'm listening to this voice and I know it's best for us. My kids were pissed. So imagine I'm driving down the road 1,000 miles with 2 pissed off teenagers and a little baby that don't give a damn word what's going on, because he like, whatever dad is, I'm down with dad. My baby boy was just, he was happy. I don't care. Can I drive, Dad? Yeah, later. So I got 2 pissed off teenagers, a crazy little bouncing baby boy. My wife was down for the crown no matter what I do. She trusts I'm following the right thing, and she's down. This is all crazy. And I'm listening to this voice. And everything to this very day happened like clockwork. I can't explain it. Everything just fell into place. I didn't really have to beg for anything. Say, Led, once you moved, did you find peace of mind where you were searching for? This is my life now. Of course I did. That's the whole moral of this story. If you listen, if you build it, they will come. My wife know I would never do anything to harm her or my children. She trusts me. She been down with me for this long. She like, you done did crazier stuff than this. So not only was she down, she helped plan this whole operation. Yes, I do live on a lake. So all of that I'm telling you, I came from waking up back home, waking up to gunshots, going to sleep to listen to gunshots outside my window where my children slept. People shooting and gangs and gang violence and murders and robbery. I went from that to this, to being outside out here on Easley Island, sitting by the lake, talking to y'all. Peace and quiet. All I hear now is owls, ducks, geese, the occasional deer, raccoon, possum. But you got to allow this stuff to happen to you. You got to be accepting of the blessing, because you will get a blessing all day. You know how many people throw their own blessings away every 5 seconds because either they're too busy listening, too busy talking, or they're too busy telling you what you don't know. Instead of just shut up and listen. Sometimes I just like to listen to people to figure out where you're coming from. You will miss your blessing. And people don't even know it. They don't even know it. But those are the same people that say, don't nothing ever good happen to me. They'll say those people don't know what they're talking about. Now, this person ain't got two nickels to rub together, or window to, what my mama used to say, a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, what my mama used to say. But they're always supposed to be the smart one, telling you how you don't know what you're talking about while they're watching your success. They're watching you in your mode. They're watching you on your level and telling you that you're wrong. So I ain't no help for folks like that. Those are people that just like to make excuses of why they're afraid to succeed. One of our biggest problems with why we don't move forward and we don't go hunt after that success, we're scared to succeed. We're more scared, and I'm talking about everybody. People are more afraid to succeed than they are of failing. People accept a failure like nothing. Think about it. Think for real. These days, a failure is common to accept. I failed. I messed up. It is what it is. Because that's where we get that saying from. It is what it is. It didn't work out. We're more afraid of being successful than we are of failing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you do actually succeed, you got work to do. When you actually get that blessing that you've been wanting and it fall in your lap, you got work to do. Right? And we're afraid of that responsibility of that work, because once you succeed, or once that blessing falls in your lap, you know what you have to do after that? You have to maintain it. You have to maintain said success, whether it be spiritual, financial, physical, whatever it is. You have to maintain that. Once that blessing fall in your lap, you don't want to maintain that blessing. You don't want to maintain that success. You know why? Because it takes too much work. Failure is easy. It's easy to fail. It's easy. But once you start realizing how easy it is to fail, you know what happens? You always fail because it's easy. Success is hard because not only do you get to that point where you want to be, you have to maintain it and do your God's honest best to try to even excel even what you wanted. Not only do you get where you want to have to maintain it, you also have to strive to even move higher and do more. That's hard work. That's hard work, because some people will get to this point, you made it, and you say, I had enough. I just want to stay right here. I'm good. We ain't built for that. We built to keep on trying to figure ourselves out. You have to keep on striving for greatness. And once you do even reach a level that you feel that you're comfortable and you about done, just because you think you're done and you good with this level, now it's time. If you don't want to go no farther, you're still responsible for taking other people to another level, or reaching back and bringing other people that's down here up to your level. You still got work to do no matter what you say or what you do. That's my word. So before I leave this, I want you to know one thing. It's going to happen if you put in the work. If forget putting in the work. If you believe it's going to happen, if you say it's going to happen, if you write it down, write down your goals, it's going to happen. But what the title say, things you should know when it's time to go. What I mean by that is, when that blessing do happen, when you finally get in peace to the point you do hear that whisper telling you what your next move is, your next assignment is, before you go, you got to ask yourself, are you ready? Because just because you get a blessing and you get a come up, that means you got to get to work. Some of us, for instance, let me break it down to a more understandable level. You've been wanting to lose weight. You've been wanting to lose weight. You've been wanting to lose weight. You've been wanting to lose weight, right? You can't afford the high prices of produce in the stores. You can't afford a gym membership. What if somebody said, I'm going to pay for your gym membership for a whole year? What did that just do? You ain't got no excuses. That means you got to get up tomorrow morning and do some hard work. What if they said, I'm going to buy all your produce for 1 year? Oh my God, that means I really got to eat lettuce? Oh man, I'm not ready for that. I got all this ground beef in my refrigerator, and we got some leftovers from the holidays. I was planning on tearing that macaroni and cheese up. See what happened? That brought it down to another level that everybody can understand. When somebody throw that gift at you, no more excuses. They made it so you have no more excuses. And you don't act on it. A lot of people don't act on it because they know now the ball is really in your court, and you really do have to put in some work. And when you don't put in no work, you're a liar. And you only lied to yourself because you kept saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. But when somebody call you on it, right? Think about it. So when he throw that blessing in your lap, said you've been praying and you've been asking for this opportunity. You've been asking for this job. I gave it to you. I made it happen. So now with that job, you got to wake up every day. You used to waking up around 11, 10 o'clock. But now you got to wake up every day at 5 a.m. and you got to work overtime hours every day. You wasn't ready for that. Now you making up excuses. No. Once that blessing hit lay in your lap, once that next assignment, that next mission hit you in lap, it's time to go. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, J3GS, the power in the tongue. Yes, it is. That's why I say positive stuff and I write down positive stuff. I write my goals down on paper. I write my goals down on boards. You never see my chalkboard anywhere behind me because that's between me and him. All my goals I write on a board and a notebook paper, and I write them all over the dang on place and put magnets on them. True story. Okay, so Simply Clean says sweet, deep, dirty. Oh, okay, I missed something. So I'm just putting that out there. I ain't here to bite y'all ears off tonight. I just really wanted to touch base and tell you, man, what if this happened to you? Would you really be ready to uproot your life? Your kids mad at you, your husband mad at you, or not agreeing with you, we're going to call it. Your wife not agreeing with your decision. selling everything in the house. Thank you, Prophetic. Say, appreciate you talking time out taking time out to, dang, I missed it, to drop these jewels, words of wisdom from God's fearing black man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you. But you better be ready. Everybody better be ready. And I'm telling you this, it's always in my own experience, from my own journey from over all these years, it's always exciting to be on a new journey, to move to a higher level, whether it's a higher level of learning, a higher level of spirituality. It's always a wonderful journey. It feels good to learn new things, you know. Just saying. If you sit here, you're stagnant. You're going to be that stagnant water that stink, okay? Just saying. I ain't knocking nobody. I ain't chewing off nobody's head because everybody got on me about the other video. I'm just saying, if you like living in stagnation, I can't complain. Another thing I'm going to do, I will apologize for one thing from that video. The video I did, I'll apologize. I said I don't take nothing back, but I do apologize for one thing. In that video, I wasn't talking with you. I was talking at you. That's wrong. I will admit that. I wasn't talking with you. I was not having a conversation. I was talking at you. That's wrong. Right? So I apologize for that. Because I see a lot of people do that and it annoys the hell out of me. So when I got those thumbs down, I was like, oh, I get it. You know, I was a little high sprung. I get it. But I meant what I said. But I didn't mean the way I said it. All I did was drop knowledge and people didn't like it. It's that simple, right? I do have to apologize because all these folks is grown in here and you know, needing talking at somebody. You can't make anybody do anything. You can't force anybody to do right. Right? And sometimes I get so frustrated with watching our people fail and fall so much. It's so frustrating. Sometimes I can come off like I'm mad or angry. It's not mad and anger. It's more frustration because I'm like, don't you see you're failing? Don't you see that what you're doing is not working? I keep giving you some blueprints, but you keep balling them up in Jordan. So that's what it is. So I do apologize, and I do owe an apology because I wasn't talking with you. I was talking at you. And ain't nobody in here shouldn't be under the age of 18 years old. I believe it's all grown folks in here. I wasn't, yeah. So that's, you know, that's not cool no matter what. I'm going to say that. But again, meant what I said. Meant every word what I said. Didn't mean the way I said it. Before I go, we still got 2 minutes left. Has anybody thought about moving somewhere else? What are your goals and aspirations? Are you thinking about moving across country? Another city, maybe? Out of the country? Wouldn't you want more land? A bigger home? Yeah, tell me. Somebody said South Africa. A bigger home? More space? A bigger yard even? So we plan to move to Ghana, retire in Ghana. Okay. Say, yep, help me move to Colorado from Milwaukee. Thank you. Oh, I helped you move from Colorado to Milwaukee. Well, thank you. I hope everything is working out for you. Say, Ocala, okay, okay. More land in the country, out of the country, maybe Ghana, moving to my childhood home, overnight homeowner from the apartment. Congratulations, my sister. Where you go? Congratulations, TLC in the garden. Sincerely says, I bought 22 acres, sight unseen, moved to California from Missouri. Is that Missouri, I believe it is? Congratulations. That's scary to do, but that's, you heard that whisper is what made you do that. You heard that whisper. So I'll be able to help my family in Ocala. Okay, that's smart. Say, J3GS, yes, I would love having neighbors. My landlord sold the piece, so I have to move. That's that part about living in apartments I was talking about. Nobody wanted to hear me. That landlord got the last say on how you live. If he tell you you got 30 days, that's it. I'm selling the property. You got to go. And I'm telling you this too. The prices on everything is going up. Even land, even houses. The prices of everything is going up. Do you think it's going to be easier to follow your dreams now, or that goal you got set for 10, 15 years down the road? Your master plan is for 15 years or 10 years. Sometimes you got to cut that short. Lee Harv, Section 8 is going for many. I heard that. I said that years ago on one of my videos. I said everybody that's getting money, that's getting supplemental income from our higher ups in this country, if you will, I'm trying to watch my words. They're doing everything in their power to cut that off. They don't care if you earned all of that your whole life or not. Your pension that you earned from your job, your 401k, all of that stuff. Your low income housing. I said this years ago, and that's why I was like, get you some solar generators, get you a tent, get you all of this equipment. The reason I was talking about that, because you need to know where you're gonna go when they tell you you cannot stay here anymore. We're not paying for you. We're not paying for your children. None of that anymore. You better have a plan B. And I'm not talking about, well, let me stop. Let me stop. I was about to go somewhere. You need a plan B and C. So what we gonna let our, what are you talking about, C? I don't understand what that means. I'm gonna take that out because I don't know what that means. You explain that to me, okay? Because I'm not sure what that meant. Mary says, same thing happened to me in 2020. I bought a house, no HOA. Okay. Time for folks to get their stuff in a group and be self-reliant is possible. No more what's the name funding. Very true. I know that's hard for a lot of people, and especially hard for a lot of people to hear, because this is the part, that we don't think about, where I can empathize with or sympathize with, is not empathize, but sympathize with. Some people, since they were babies, have always been on the system, have relied and depended on the system. Remember, some of these children, their mother was on the system, and once they moved out from their mama and probably had some children of their own, they moved right back into one of those government-assisted apartment living places. They don't know how this works. It's a lot of people out here that really don't know how to move in this reality, paying real rent. They don't understand it because they've never done it. I personally know a couple of people have never, ever, ever been off of the system. They've never, everything had to be supplemented with some kind of program. And I spoke about this years ago. And with that is the reason I was like, listen, it's time to start purchasing things where if things don't go right, because this future is looking really dim to the point of they'll put you out and won't care where you or your babies go. That is not their interest. They need your apartment to make more space for whatever the heck they're about to do. My hometown, this is a true story, and anybody from Toledo, Ohio knows I'm telling the truth. From my hometown, there was in Toledo, Ohio, there was a project called the Brand Whitlocks. Anybody from Toledo or ever heard of the Brand Whitlock Project homes? Or the McClinton Nuns? I could go on. Those projects housed hundreds of people. Hundreds of people. If, I ain't gonna say thousands, let's just say hundreds of people. The city was like, that's enough. Mowed those down, told everybody you got XYZ amount of days to get out. We don't care where you go. Some of y'all might fall in line to fit in another program, but some of y'all won't. Good luck. They mowed those project buildings down on the Maumee River. Okay. Make this go viral LLC said, yep, Toledo in here, the bricks. Damn right. They mowed the doggone Brand Whitlocks down. And now they're fancy rich people townhomes. Make it go viral is from Toledo, Ohio, from my hometown. Ain't no Brand Whitlocks no more. Ain't no projects down there. There's rich townhomes and fancy shops and, expensive little novelty stores. You ain't no stomping in Compton down there no more. No. It's all people with their pinky out down there. They didn't care where none of them people lived. Now, here's the thing about why I know personally, because a lot of my family lived in there. Jones True 67 said, from Youngstown, Ohio, I remember Toledo was my stomping ground. Got you. They will get rid of you. They don't see no reason to keep helping people. They don't want to help themselves. A lot of people just living off that system don't want to do nothing. Now, let's be honest. Come on now. Let's be honest. We got people that's in there that really do need the help. They really do. Especially some of our elderly. They need that assistance. But it's a lot of people. You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be doing it. It's a lot of young people that shouldn't be doing it. And I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole nother subject of, I call it entrapment. Having some goofy dude knock you up so you have a baby so you can stay on the system. Or that's how this is what my friend called, my cousin called it, getting a raise. Getting a raise. So this girl keep having a baby. She need more money, she have another baby. She need more money, she have another baby. She need more money, she have another baby. So that's what they call getting a raise. So man, I'm telling you, family, step out on faith. Everybody, please. We can do better than this. All of us. All of us. I'm no different. I'm no different. I'm 50 pounds overweight. I can do better. We can all do better in some way, form, or fashion to get to our next goal. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all go and get some sleep. I've been on here way longer than I intended to be. So do the same in Norfolk, Virginia. Plan is to get rid of all the project housing in 10, 20 years. They said that years ago in my hometown, and they did it. All right, everybody, have a good night. But do me one favor. I'm gonna say this one last time. Be ready when that blessing comes. Be listening for that blessing. Be paying attention for that blessing. Because it will come if you listen. It will come if you open your ears and listen. Close your eyes so you can meditate and the answers will come to you. And I'm going to tell you this, with that, when it finally does come, because it will come if you do it, are you ready? I want to hear, is 604 people in here? I want to hear 604 people say, I am ready. I want you to type it. I am ready. Not just ready, not just I want you to type, I am ready. Because that's the first step to speaking your own blessings into reality. I am ready. Because when he finally give that blessing, say, I am ready. I want everybody in here to say it before I leave, please. I am ready. I am ready. I want you to say it, everybody. I don't care if you say it twice. I don't care if you say it 3 times. I don't care if you say it 5 times. Because the more you say it, the more you're speaking it into existence. Lord, I am ready. I am ready for that blessing. I really am ready. I'm ready for that freedom. I'm ready to do your will. Lord, I'm ready. I am ready. Everybody write it. I am ready. Everybody keep thinking I got here off my own noodle. I know I'm a little hood. I know I'm a little hood. Keep writing, I am ready. Keep writing, I am ready. I know I'm a little hood around the edges. But if you think I don't believe in the Father, you think I did this? You think I got here off of some of these harebrained schemes I come up with? It's not me. Sometimes he can speak to me through my wife. She might say something that don't make sense to me. Keep saying it. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. Lord, I'm ready. It's up to you to listen, though. It could be a bum on the street, and he say something strange to you that don't make no sense. You need to be thinking about what he said all day. With that, family, everybody have a wonderful, blessed night. Just be ready for that blessing, because when it come, the real question, God gonna call you out. The Father gonna call you out. He gonna say, look, here, now I gave it to you. Now what? Is you gonna do it? Is you gonna do what you said you gonna do what you've been praying about? All that stuff you've been praying about? Are you gonna do it? I gave it to you, now what you gonna do? It's the same to me as, when you talk all that stuff in the club, girl, I'll rock your world. You don't even know, you don't want none of this, girl. You don't want none of this. I will have you calling your mama. And then when the girl do this, come on, let's go. The dude be like this. What? Like right now? Like now, before I get my drink and see my friends, you want to leave with me right now. You talking all that junk. You talking all that garbage. Come on, let's see what you got. I mean, I was thinking like maybe tomorrow night, because I got work in the morning, but tomorrow I'm off on Wednesday. So, if we could get together, sucker. See, that's what I'm talking about. I just brought that down to another level for you. People talk all that junk, but when somebody actually offer it to you, come on, let's go. You mean you right now? Here? Come on. Come on, you talking that, it sound good to me too. Come on, let's go. Well, what happened was, okay, my car, I need some gas, and when those blessings Stop talking all that junk if you ain't ready to back it up. What ladies say? If you ain't ready to back it up, stop talking all that smack. Okay. When that blessing come, you've been begging for it. Be ready to do some work. Be ready to put in some work, because with that blessing comes work. It ain't easy. It ain't gonna be easy. You can't be lazy with them blessings. All right. With that being said, let me see. Thank you so much for that. Smoke Squad TV wrote a whole bunch of I'm ready. I'm ready. I am ready, Lord. I am ready, God. I am ready to do your will. I am ready to take it up a notch. I'm ready to go to that level, that next level you want me to be on. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. If anybody know where that came from. Shoot, shoot you already. I'm ready. I'm ready. When you get off of this video, all I want you to type in the comment section is I'm ready. You don't necessarily got to say nothing else. Just I'm ready. I'm ready. In the comments after it go off, I'm ready. Lord, I'm ready. You'd be surprised what happens when you keep on saying, say it every day. Say it before you go to sleep. Say it when you wake up. Lord, I'm ready. I'm ready. Everybody have a wonderful night. Leah Farmer 73, I love you. Stay blessed. Stay warm. Stay safe. And I'm out.